We're recording. I hate how do I get my video settings? I want to flip it. Here's my video. That feels better. I don't know why it was the other way. Touch it by appearance. Much better. Just for low light. There I am. Hello, classe. Welcome to what module are we in? 10? Let's see. I was just in the module and I lost. At first, I expect we should review your work. I'll put the little window with my picture on it right there. And this is what you get when I have no one to talk to. You get crazy, Sean. All right, dashboard, Photoshop Class A, modules. All right. Okay. So we're going to review Module 9, Moving Images in Photoshop. It looked like you guys did a lot of really fun work. I can't wait to kind of go through them one at a time and look at them. I hope you had fun with that one. A lot of illustrations now, like I said this before, a lot of illustrations now use that system for doing their illustration. So it's not just enough to be a good illustrator anymore. You have to make your illustrations come to life a little bit. I know. Anything to push the envelope a little tiny bit. Pretty soon you're going to have to be illustrating like live photos like on your iPhone. It's like, these are the 10 different versions of my illustration. Pick the one you like the best. So, all right. I am going to wait here for a little bit and then we'll get going with class. I just want to make sure if people are going to show up, they're here. And if not, that's cool. I will continue anyways. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm back. I know you guys didn't think I left. It was like instantaneous for you. All right, screen share. So here we have your homework. It looks like you guys had a lot of fun with this. It's great. So let's see what Maureen's got here. Says happy with the first two, lost patience with the third. Oh, yeah, look at all the stuff you have going on. My God. That's quite a lot of elements, but it looks really good. You obviously have a little animation experience, and you also have a GIF now that you can use anywhere you want. Oh, hold on, got left the dog. It looks really good. I'm super impressed with your animation skills and your cartooning skills are great. It's nice. How did you lose? That's perfect. How did you lose patience with that one? Even went in and the bushes are nice. If you really want to make this kind of sing, Oh, this is the one you lost patience with. If you really want to make this sing, then you scale the silhouette up as the clouds are going by, so it looks like the camera's pushing in a little bit. That looks good. And here's a chicken. Uh, Higher. Here's a chicken. Higher. Okay. Here's a chicken. Nice. Well, now I'm expecting this kind of animation on the chicken because I know you can do it, but went above and beyond. So it's cool. Nice job. Ellie did the walk cycle. That's really kind of fun. Is that's from the walk cycle I posted? Is the yeah, the one from the 2D drawing book. It's nice. Very Muybridgey. I like how you blacked out the back and then gave shadow to the back elements. It really makes it kind of work nice. And of course, I've put the wrong earphone back, so you probably couldn't hear me talking though. Oh, the clouds are nice. I always with distance shots like this, I always because in reality, right, the clouds way back here would be moving slower than the clouds up here. And so you'd have to do this kind of a rotation. It would arc kind of like this, and that would make it look like it's moving across the sky. But this is really good. Exactly what I wanted to see. Really nice. Maybe a little slower. It's a very windy day. Oh, that's creepy. It's like it's moving just enough to be weird. I mean, it's weird. It's like an Ultraman sort of guy. Uh, it's kind of creepy. I really like how you've made it move. It looks good. All be like wonderful gifts. Nice. Yeah, how come you didn't move the sky on this one? Nice. Everybody liked your stuff. Oh, look at the cat. Finley. Animal runs are notoriously hard because they're not mathematically equal. I mean, of course they are mathematically equal, but there's a weird third beat to them, like a human walk, like this. The math on that is easy. It's 24 frames. It's split in, it crosses over at 12 frames, right? Um, like it's very easy to sort of get this one going. But on an animal run, um, the legs move in like 1/3, and then one leg moves at a slightly different pace. It's very strange kind of walk cycle. It eventually evens out, but it's not simple math. It's not like a binary system. It's weird. Well, it's like a quadruped system, but where all four things are not equal. But this is great. It's a nice job. Did you hand animate that? Does it say here? It does not say. Oh well. I like it. Whether you cut it out or you animated it, it looks really good. And there's your cloud one. Very nice. I like this one. I love how the winning part of this for me is that the suit is animated to look like it's actually squishing. It looks like it has, I don't know if he did that on purpose or not, but it looks like the arm is pulling the cloth, which is really kind of fun. It's great. All those are really nice. Cash really went to town with us. I like that. Feel free to incorporate animations into your future pieces if you really want. It's really nice. Actually, his clothing here is kind of what we're gonna do today. Textures and stuff. So I'll just consider that a foreshadowing. Oh, that's really nice. When you gave the person credit, that's really nice. You don't have to give the person credit on your homework, but I appreciate the effort. It's really has a nice feel to it, huh? Flame is one of those things where you can almost animate anything you want. It doesn't really matter. As long as it goes from bright yellow to dark orange and kind of drips and drops like that, uh, you're pretty good. But I like the style of this one. It seems very rounded and sharp at the same time. It's cool. Oh, your sky animations could like a Turner painting happening as we watch. Get out of the water. There's a storm coming. That's what he's trying to run and warn this guy. Get out of there. You could have also done a giant crab or an octopus. All those would have been fun. Oh, that's really neat. I really like the subtlety of it, and they do look like they're floating. And it's really nice art. All hand drawn. Not even vector. It's hand. It's well, the cubes is probably vector, but it's hand drawn to look like it's vector. Oh. Sorry, my dog's attacking me. Hold on. You know who loves to play with you is your mom. There she is over there. Sorry, my dog was throwing toys at me. All right. I like that one a lot. Yeah, it's all well done. This would be a really nice ad or something for this company. It's this moving picture sort of deal, right? Does really nice things for your social posts. A lot of stuff, a lot of advertisements on Instagram and Facebook and that use exactly this. They make little tiny GIFs where it's a still, but it just moves a little bit. It you get something like twice as many clicks as you would for a static one. It's quite substantial. So, and now you can do it. You guys are in the know. Yeah, those are nice. Here's Gems. It's not moving very much, Gem, I have to say. But you're poised. Actual fire is a little bit rough to work. I have a bunch. Do you want to see some? I've been doing a fire department. And fire video elements. And so I have all these. Some of them are CG and then some of them are not. Um, this is CG. This is CG. These are hard to tell if they're CG. That's real. That's fake. So basically, this is what somebody drew, or this is a particle system in a 3D software, I think. I'm not sure which one to make it smaller, so it plays for some reason. whenever I work on a video, I run out of memory on my computer. There it goes. So you get the idea. This is just a sprite too, but this kind of sprite you can take and you can put it over an actual object, right? So if you wanted something to burn, let me open up Photoshop. There's an assignment for later on. Open, actually here, let me open up After Effects. Because Photoshop will play it, but it'd be a big pain in the ass to set it up. So you can bring these files and open it into Photoshop. There it is. And you can see in the timeline that that is playing. It'll read most movies. And this one, although it looked, right, like it has a black background, that's actually an alpha background. So then I can pull in any kind of image. See if I have an image right now. And you just put them on a different layer. Create a different layer. Delete those two. Create a different layer. There we go. Get rid of it. Close that. Unlock that. Select that. Come back over to the fire. Create a new layer. Fire. Oh, there's your ladies. Hold on. There we go. Oh, how funny. It took the transparent background and made it a not transparent. Recorded it as the checkerboard for a transparent background. That's all right. So if I take this here, open. There's a fire. There's your ladies. Incorrect copy. Well, let's see if I can do this. And I'm going to stop because this is that into that. There we go. Jesus. Okay, so do it that way. Then you could have your create your animation. Oh wait, there. Go ahead, and then you can get the fire burning on top of the elements. Okay. There's a long way to go to show you how to do that. Back to your work. Much more interesting. So, anyways, that's how you can get your fire going. Is go find some CG fire. There's a bunch of it for free all over the internet. Download. Just kind of put it over the top. Okay. Jerry, what'd you get up to? Oh, that's really neat. See, there's that. Did you rotate it? And why is that? or is that just video? Because you've managed to get this moving slower and this moving faster. It looks really good. And there's parallax happening there. So that's a video, and then this is a still, I'm guessing. Yeah, or you put this on some sort of thing. God, I wish this was a live class so I could ask you how the heck you did that. It's really cool. Nice job. My render button never worked. It just froze for hours. I had to save a PSD and then open it in media encode. Yeah, I didn't. I'm sorry. This assignment is not inexpensive as far as memory goes. Your walk's nice. Great job. Now take this and put it there. No, you don't have to. You did great. All right, is that it? Yep, there's the video. Cool. All right, we're gonna take a little break. Well, you won't notice it. I'm gonna pause the recording, take a little break, and then when we come back, we will get into this week's homework. Hi, you ready to go? Phase 2, where we're gonna go into, let me show my screen. This week's module, which is entitled Module 10, Dirt Maps, Custom Brushes, and Textures and Tiles. All right, so let's start off talking about textures. So textures in a video game sense, right, are pictures that you put on 3D objects to make them colorful. But when we're talking about a 2D texture, it is generally something like one of these here, where it's a map that kind of looks like dirt or mold or wood grain or something that you can add to an object to give it texture. So it has color, and you add these to texture. So if, let me close down stupid After Effects and call up wonderful Photoshop. Let's close down these ones here. And I'm call new file. I'm going to use, I like using this one here, 1000 by 1000 by 300 dpi for these assignments that we're doing. It's really, really well. And if you go to art and illustration, you can do the poster or this one, which is 1000. And if we look at the image size, how does that translate to inches? So 3 by 3 inches at 300. We might want to go a little bit bigger. I'm going to go 6. There we go. I'm going to get rid of the timeline by clicking, right-click on that, hitting close. And there we have our square. Okay, so I'm going to call up here. I have some textures saved somewhere for you guys. I can put a couple. Oh, they're over here. There they go. I'll move these over here so I can access them and talk to you. Great. So how do we use textures? We use textures using the same layering system we used before. So let's just start off with a color of some sort. I'll just go with a blue and just fill that. Select, deselect. And then I drag a texture, just one texture on top of it. You can see that's kind of what it looks like. And so you can go to multiply here And then you can see instead of the blue, we now have this, I don't know, some like moldy rock. Um, and it's widely more interesting than just the blue by itself. And we can, of course, because it's on another layer, we can control the opacity of it. So if you want something that's more like hotel bedspread, 30 sheets or something, you can get that, or full on moldy bathroom wall. You can also, right, use blending options on the texture. So we can do bevel and emboss. Just hit that, and I'm going to take it back to full opacity and zoom in a little bit. And that gives it a lot more depth, actually. Right. Let me get it back up. Bevel emboss and pillow emboss. Oh, that's still. Did I do this on the blue here? No, I did on that one. Or drop shadow. Oh, I did on the whole picture. My bad. Get rid of the effects. Yeah, so in order to make this work, I would have had to look in the effects, go in here to make this work with this function. Do something like that, where I would grab a bunch so that it has sort of different pieces. And then I can do that. Then I can do bevel emboss. Let's see if it's still giving me the other thing. It is still. Okay. Hold on. Rasterize the layer. There's no problem. Nice. Bring another one back in. Remember I was talking about the destructible and indestructible? I couldn't see it because my eyes are bad, but there's a little thing in the corner here that says that that is a live object or a smart object. And what I really want is a rasterized object, not that. Then I get blending options. No, it's still giving me the whole thing on that side. I still have to select bits of it. Then I can go Control X, Control V, and on this one, blending options. And I can drop shadows and bevels and emboss and get all sorts of interesting things. So it looks like granite now. And then combine this one with this one, merge those two together, and do multiply. And you can see from just a 2D picture, we now have a very 3D looking thingamajigger. That's where the blending tools really kind of kick in, is with that. It could be like a cave wall now instead of just moldy something. You really get a nice view of it. So if you were needed to put this in front of a character, be all set. I can take my grandma's here. Use this letter. I can select characters. That's what it gives me. Nice job. Select inverse. Control X. Oops. Does not. And I don't know what these two ladies are doing in the cave, but there you go. Could probably put the blue up here. Make that multiply. Now they're underwater. Yeah, I don't mind that one. Because now they're the same color. What is that? Oh, really? Nice. Anyways, there's a lot of ways to work texture. So let's look at a particular that's kind of random. And of course, let me do this. Look at that. Hi, ladies. Look at that one. Yes. Oh, normal. And we can bring in our three different ones that you can see there. And I'll just hit multiplies. Let's see how they sort of. And then we saw the other one. So you can kind of see how this works. If I could do also image to saturation. I can up the lightness of this. And you can see it kind of takes on all the stuff. You can also do weird stuff. Which one is this? That one. That was fun. Yeah. Make that a normal layer. Go into filters, neural filters, and use colorize. And you can see it kind of tried to do, I don't know what, but it's not bad. Then when you multiply it, then it has a little of its own that you can use for stuff. And it's in this way that, you know, you can create like Rust, all sorts of interesting. All right, speaking of, let's go do that. I put a couple of cars in the in the module for you guys to work with. A couple of Volkswagens. Just because the example I had was a Volkswagen, might be good to like. I did there's a pre-created video from different ones you can watch on this sort of thing on how to build pieces of texture into your photographs and stuff. All right, so let's first of all make sure that we have enough stuff to play with here. I'm going to up this to 300. I'm going to make it a little blurry, but that's all right. I could go in and fix it. So one of the things you can do is break glass. Is a really nice texture thing to do. Basically, anything you can anything you can overlay. So if I do glass, broken glass, texture, basically just type texture after it. You get a lot of bang for your buck. See, here's a whole bunch of broken glasses. And we can just pick one. We can pick a light one or a dark one. It doesn't. I'm gonna pick this. And so you can see that this is by textures.com, and I don't really want to pay for it or subscribe to that service. So if I go snipping tool, then I can steal it for free. It just copies like that. I copy I'm not using it for anything but showing you guys, so it's okay for me to borrow. And then what I want to do is come in here and I'm gonna put this into this area here, but I want to make sure that I have the windows selected. There you go. I have it in my buffer right now from where I copied it before. Edit, paste, special, paste into. And then we just need to that's adjust it so that it fits here, and you can do that with perspective. I like holding down control and moving these little corner bits around. So then I can get a nice perspective. And you try and match this angles with the angles of the car in order to get the correct perspective going. And then if you really want to do this up right, you would darken the inside of that. Sorry. Let me merge these two together. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go here and go Control C, and then go Control V. So I'm pasting it on there. Let me do this one. Control C. So I've taken that little bit. If I hide this, I'll show you. There's the little bit that I copied from this layer here. There's the broken glass, and what the thing fits inside. And then there's the car. And then here, the image just use saturation and then darkened it up. So that it looks, you can, so you're getting the inside film of the car. And then we can go in, zoom in here and doctor this up with a bit of drawing. And select a white color, get a new layer, select a white color. And just draw this edge in here. And then we have a football accident to our Volkswagen. So it's not, and that's just a texture, right? That is literally just a picture of the glass that we are then able to utilize as a modifier for an existing photo. So we can also add rust. You can be very specific. You could do like a rust on blue metal texture and find one of these fine pieces. Nice and simple. Or I could just steal it. I just need to borrow it actually. And then with this one, I'm not actually going to drop it into a certain spot. And then again, I want to make sure that the directionality is right. So I'm just holding down, I'm grabbing these points and holding down control to move these one at a time. And I see I'm kind of making it look like lining it up with the corners of the car. There. I'll do the edges of the bumper. Let me go in and fix it. Probably more like that. Great. And so once we get this, we can, I'm going to do a transparency, a little bit of a transparency on it, and like that would kind of work, right? But it doesn't really follow the curvature of the car. So I think we can go in here and grab the work tool. Image, edit, transform, and then we can use this tool. And this tool, oh, you can see, kind of makes a grid. We've used this before. We want to shape it, kind of follow the hood of the car. That's not bad. Oops, opacity of it. Lower the opacity because now I can't see. And I'm going to use the natural contours of the image as guides as to where I want to remove the rust. Even if I wanted to add rust to all these other parts, you should do it like this in little pieces so that the breaks in the lines and stuff are natural for whatever you're working on. So I get a little bit of that dark line. And you don't want to overwrite any shadows or. Okay. Now let's see how dark I get. The color's almost the same. Nice. Grab. Like that's not a bad one. I usually only use multiply, screen, or overlay. But sometimes I like walking through these to see what's available, what the different things do. When you're using a wildcard item like a texture map with so many different colors in it over the top of something else. I think that's probably the best one. You can see I have a little bit that I forgot to go like this. That one, that one. What'd you put in? Oh. They are X. Great. Okay, so ooh, that is one thing you can do with textures on actual photos, and how you can use pre-made ones. There's bullet holes. You can really once you learn that you can just type texture after everything on the internet and get pictures of stuff, you can add those to any of your images. And it's much easier than trying to paint them or something. And then all you have to do, right, is make sure that um, you're able to get the perspective right on it. And boom, there you go. Bullet holes, rust, broken window. This car is not doing very well. All right, I'll show you one more example of this, and then we're gonna put textures to bed, but I'd like you to use this technique in some way in one of your pictures. You can do whatever you want to it. Obviously, it's good for doing what I just showed you, breaking glass and shooting bullet holes and adding distress to perfectly fine vehicles. Um, uh, this is how we end up using it quite often, is modifying existing photos to be a certain way, and then putting those photos in elements that we need them to be in. All right. So this as VW blue destroyed. It wasn't really destroyed, but certainly distraught. Okay. So the other one that comes up all the time for me, oddly enough, is paper. So if I go in here and I type in old paper and clothing, you can see you get all these different variations of old paper. Um, I like um, I find kind of less is more with paper. So I might go with something like this if I need to do something. If I have an old new image here. Yeah, great. And then I put this down. If I have if, something with text on it or something, if anything with text on it, maybe this. So here I have another sprite sheet or a weather chart or something. And if I wanted that to look like it was printed on paper, then I would call up a probably multiply and then yeah, go that way. Screen maybe. Find the right one. So I don't want this one on top of that. Sometimes you have to switch them around. I want that one to be normal. This one to be multiply. There we go. Because I want to find the right one. That's not a bad one. Let's see how different all these things affect. And oftentimes I'll go in and I'll warp this so that it matches whatever the bends in the paper are. It's not very good because it's kind of light. I don't mind that. What is that? Subtract? I want to keep the sharpness, but it's too dark. Sometimes you have to. Oh, there it goes. Why wasn't it doing that before? Weird. Um, Sometimes you have to do it a couple times. Like if I want the clouds to maintain their lightness, but then to have the piece of paper over it, then you can just apply it below it and above it to kind of get the textures going. And then you can see the stains go into the pictures themselves. I think this is a little too bright. There you go. Anyways, I use paper a lot. It's much better with text and stuff than all of a sudden it looks like old pirate paper or something. Cool. All right. So that's kind of an explanation of what you can do with textures. And I'd like you to use them in some fashion in your homework. Um, you might uh, go crazy here. You can do anything textures. You can do uh, tile, like um, bathroom tile, right? Put tiles in. Leather's another neat one. And these are all great to use in your images. If you need to add something, you can add these to people. Or all right, when I come back, there's our bug. Um, won't be any time at all. When I come back, we're gonna look at making. Let's see. I think we're gonna make custom brushes next. Let me see. Textures. Dirt maps. We just did that. Textures and dirt maps are kind of the same thing. Adding pictures, adding a tattoo to your grandma's photo. So we'll do that, but it's not a whole lot different than what we just did. Um, but instead of adding a texture to it, we're going to add an image to a person. Okay. In a second. Hi. Oops. Hi. Sorry, I got cold. Okay. We're talking? Yeah. We're recording? Yeah. We're sharing screen? Yeah. What we're going to do now is do the same thing we just did, but we're going to do a picture. So textures, right? Used in conjunction with um, images can create um, different um, what am I trying to say? um, Textures create or sorry, like dirt maps and things like that create interesting textures on things, but you can also do the same sort of deal with images. So this is, for instance, the best example I have for this is tattoos, and this is like a dead simple sort of thing, right? We can just, so I'm gonna raster it and tattoo, get rid of you. Um, put this on multiply. And we use the same sort of thing where we create this plane that rests on top of her arm in perspective. We think of her arm as being a square, not a round. Um, and then we can just put that on there. Of course, that. This, and I think it'd look better if it was a little rounded. So let's go in and go edit, transform, warp. Right, and we can pull this edge down. Now, we also have at our disposal. Remember, when we drew in the excuse me, the labels on the cans, we learned how to use all the warp tools. Um, um, we can where'd it go? So edit, transform, edit, transform. Select the warp, and then instead of the general warp, we can choose the cylinder warp. Although you probably don't want to do one that I've rotated. So let's delete this. And we'll follow up on these things again here. Control V, hide those. I'll make it a little bigger so we can see what's going. And then go edit, transform. Warp. Come over here to custom, warp custom, choose cylindrical. And now you can see that it's making it round for you. And so if we look at our arm, we can tell it's something like that. That down. Enter to set that. Enter. Then we can put. And basically make this look like it's a sleeve of clothing on it, right? We've already did the warp and it did this part for us. And you can see it kind of mimics coming around her arm. And we can aid this by, reducing the tone of this so it's more in line with the colors of the pictures. We can go image adjust. Hue saturation, colorize, light, more saturation. And make it look kind of like the color of a tattoo. And it starts to get really kind of believable. We can reduce the opacity a little bit more. Somewhere in there. And all of a sudden, boom, grandma's got a tat. Nice. So this is how you can put pictures on graphics, sorry, on people or things to kind of make them have those shapes. So if you have a graphic and you want to make it like, I want the sand, like we can do the same thing here, right? I can select this image. Control X. And we can put this in the sand here. We just have to make sure that it's in perspective to this. And it's kind of hard to do this because it's we don't really have anything in this picture to say what uh, the perspective is of the sand. Something like that. Switch that to a multiply. Or we can leave that as a normal, and we can, oh, that's our tattoo. Leave that as multiply. We'll lock that one. Select this, make that normal. We can remove the background from it using magic. Did do a very good job. About select subject. Yeah. Just open. Yeah, edit, undo. Select the inverse here, and then I can delete that. Still didn't do a grid grabber. Good job at grabbing. So use the magic one. Usually you don't. If you just wanted the picture to be on the sand, you wouldn't need to remove the black parts. But if we want to have it be sort of a 3D thing, then we're going to need to do that. And you can adjust the magic, remember here. Come on, that's what I want. All right, close. So now we have sand. We can come here and control. I'm going back down to the sand layer and here's this layer. All right. Select everything. Select inverse. Come back to the sand. And grab some sand. And lower its opacity. I moved it. There. And we can do like a fake shadow. And it'll look like a cutout in the sand. Of course, we could have also done that. This one. I could have done that with blending options. Drop shadow. Or a bevel and emboss. And want to go down. And then it looks like somebody drew that. Inner shadow. Too much inner shadow. So different ways to do the same thing. Picture textures can make textures. There's sand textures, right? Images can also be used to apply to things to change their look. All these things you can kind of use to modify an existing sort of thing. I can tattoo there. That can also have that be huge behind them. Let's come back in here. Go select subject. And I can select those guys. Oops. See. And now they're in front of it. But you guys knew that. All right, so pictures to change alter color fields and how to modify them and integrate them into characters. Tattooing your okay. Share my screen again. Have fun with that. Try putting some different tattoos on it. Use any picture and make them look like a tattoo. So now we're going to create a custom brush. I don't know how many of you have played around in the brush thing. We covered it a little tiny bit, but I want to kind of go over it. So, and in order to do this, I want to open this file here, this guy. Make sure my file is 300 DPI. There we go. Oops, don't want to do that. So, if we have another layer, unlock that one. If we have, if we select the brush tool, which is there for me,
Can't do that.
You'll notice that if I double click over here to brush settings, we get a ton of different options. So each of these brush settings creates a different effect on our character. If I just stamp down, you can see this sort of is like making a texture. But sort of like using a texture map, but this is like if you wanted to paint a texture map by yourself without like finding one on the internet, you could do it like this. And we can do all the same stuff. And there he's got freckles. And there's all sorts of different ones. The soft brush, and this one is a tree. There's some good ones that are leaves. The leaves are kind of fun to use. These dot ones work really well. So when I do this, you can see this down here too, right? Oh, there's the trees. So this allows you to, if delete that. So most default brushes you won't mess with. Right? You'll just grab them and doop, stamp them. But you do have the option of controlling the spacing, like how many. If I just click down once, you get that. But if I hold it down and move it, you can see that it draws dots. It'll paint these across the screen just like I have here. And I can decrease the spacing, and it does that. I can bunch them all up together, and it does that, which is kind of useless. I can just have it make one, doop, 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 doop. And I can control the size of them. I can flip them. I can control the directionality of them. I can increase the randomness. And I can do that for any of these. So for instance, this is like your old favorite hard brush, right? If I increase the spacing of this, it just draws little circles everywhere. And some of these brushes have dynamics to them. So you can come in here, there's scattering, textures. So you can call up some of the pre-made textures that are in here, trees and grass and water. Grass is a pretty average one. Dual brushes, transfer brushes, all sorts of different options for creating your brushes. But the most I ever really use, to tell you the truth, is this here where I come in and I'll adjust the spacing if I want it to not be as close or something. Oops, and I've drawn all over my guy. Bring him back in. Image. Just, what am I doing? Image size. Image size. Let's make it 300 again. And then see how do I increase the spacing? It makes it kind of adjust your thing. Because if I just do this all over the place, then you start recognizing the pattern. But if I do that and then change the spacing, then it breaks it up a bit. All right. Great. So there's and what, like I said, these you can use these you can use like a material. I've just got a 5 o'clock set. And you can come in here and erase them. And you can see how, I mean, that's a pretty lame version of it, but then these can also be blend optioned. And you can do bevel and emboss or drop shadow. of some drop shadow stuff. I don't like that. Each of these kind of works like an individual thing. But they just fit me in the way. So that is using a brush, using the brush tools like a dirt map or a texture. There is another thing you can do. So say you really want to create your own brush. Ooh, create your own brush. And so you come in here and create something. Oops. Oh, I know, a little bit. So say you want that to be your brush. You can just come in here and select it. Use any selection tool, draw any on its own layer, draw anything you want, and create your own selection tool. And then you want to kind of make sure it's in the middle of your square here. And then go to edit, and then somewhere in here is define your brush. Define brush preset. Okay. And this pops up. And you can call it whatever you want. Hit enter. And then when you come back in here, your brushes will be there. You can just call it up. Edit. Yeah. Do, 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 do. I don't know why. I must have had a bit of gray around it. Do, do. Yeah, it's recorded the I must have selected a little bit of the gray. That's too bad. Anyways, so you can see it makes the brush and I can just paint them all up. So you can make your own brushes. Here's one I made called Smiley. So if you really want to make a brush that, for instance, for this guy, you could call that, I'll put new layer, normal. Maybe do something like this. Color that up and go edit. Define brush preset. Eyebrows. I don't know why I'm getting the gray. That's so weird. Let's go. Must have something weird preset on it. It's a weird preset. Smoothing. What if I don't want smoothing? Why are you giving me that? And you can see if I want to make it have a mustache, I could do the other way. Not sure why. I think I have to restart Poker. But you can kind of see how this would work if you wanted to build. Build up something pretty quickly. This is a really good way to do it. Minus the gray. I'm not sure what that's about. I wonder if I have to start a new thing. Let's try that. I've never seen it do that before, of course. I'm recording it and like, oh no, what's going on? New that. Right. Do it on a white background, man. That works really well. Go back here. Yeah. Right. And I can come into brush settings here and flip it. And if I leave it on, there you go. Preset brushes. You can make it do whatever you want, but most of the time I do stuff like this. And then you can um, come in here with your brush preset, right, and change the colors, like grab a brown or something, and then lower the opacity, and then come back in, and it's just like that. Other and some other colors. So it kind of matches his hair color. You could even go in and select his. Yes, there you go. How to make a custom brush. It's super easy. Apparently, it works much better if you make it on a white background and then select it. There you go. Don't make it on top of a picture already. It then gives you a weird halo. Didn't know. Now I do. Cool. All right. What's next? What's next? There's a whole bunch of stuff on exactly how the brush panel works and how the strokes more. Oh, you can go get more brushes. Um, Come back. Go to settings. There are a ton of pre-made brushes all over the place for free. Not for, well, some are free. Most of them cost money. Get more brushes. There you go, 1,000 brushes, infinite creativity. Brushes that do anything you ever want. Watercolor, pastel, ones that do comic books. So it'll do these dot matrix things. So copy paper, markers, fish, winter. People. Anyways, if you want to get some more Adobe and more brushes, Adobe has whole packs. And all I have to do is hit that button or go to the Adobe stock store and look for them. Cool. All right, that's in the module. You can look at that. Textures and tiles. Well, we sort of done textures and tiles, but you know what? I'm going to teach you guys how to make a tile. Proper tile. Um, and then I think what be what's after textures and tiles? Oh, creating a scene. Then I'll explain the homework. All right, so let's do that real quick. Come back here. Say goodbye to Henry. New art illustration. So most tiles for games and stuff are 2,000. So say you have an image and you want to like put it all over a wall. It could be wallpaper, or it could be like maybe you have a ground or something and you want to put it all over the ground. So actually, it's called. No, not on there. That's not good. There, we got our beach picture. So let's replace the nice sand with something else. So if I then go back to the internet and go Rocky. Now that chances are, if I were to call up something like this, if I were to call up Rocky Dirt texture, it would already be a tile. The tile means that you can stack it next to each other in any direction and it'll flow into itself. So let's see if I call it Rocky Dirt texture. Maybe not. Call it this one. Over Shutterstock. Oh, they've got it. So this is a good description of that texture, of a tiled texture. It means that this is actually only a square somewhere in here, but it keeps repeating and repeating and repeating. So when you put it on the 3D object, it doesn't look like it has a seam to it, right? There's no seam. And so a lot of times these are used for putting on ground cover. So you don't really want something with a very definitive sort of block to it. You want something more like this, where it's more indescript, so that when it's on here, you can't really tell that there's like this rock is repeated here and this rock is repeated here. These are lit, so it's a little easier to show that, you know, the same rock is reappearing all over the place. So if you do textures, most likely um, you'll get something like this. Pretty sure. Let me see. I'll take this and stick it up there. Yeah. Take this and stick it here. Take this here. Take these and put them over here. So it doesn't matter which way I do this. I can rotate this too. And it'll still match up. Sort of. Does an okay job. I think it's better if you don't rotate the tiles a little better. You can still see the seam a little. It's not too bad. But you can see what I'm talking about. Like it's if this were if we were to take this now, right? Our thing. There's the layers. Select all. Go back to our Grandma Beach picture. Select subjects. Okay. And then remember we apply our principles of perspective. Mhm. And you can do stuff like this. Here's another one, another tile. And I can just make this one tiny. And then have it match with that. And then you see it still blends into it because it's very similar closure. But it's a good way. I mean, generative fill might do this for you, but this is, if you want a very specific sort of thing, this is a nice way to go about doing things. So say you have a picture of dirt and you want it, and you want it to tile like that. How do you do that? Well, it's super technical. Let me show you. Back to our internet. And that, let's just knock. This is Oh, these are backgrounds. It's only $7.99 for that? That's a deal. Oh, it's free. Great. Then I'm gonna steal it. Copy it using that. Using the snipping tool. Picture in a 2K by 2K. So it's important that you make, if you're making a texture like this, that you make it square so that they work out. All right, so let me just get rid of that watermark thing. Using the clone tool, so just stamp a piece over here and just bring that over here. And we talked about the clone tool. So, right, want to make sure this is this size. All right, so if I take this, shrink it down, and then duplicate. Well, it's pretty good from a distance, actually, but it doesn't match up perfectly. It does a really good job. Like it doesn't cut any. This is a really kind of decent texture. Maybe a bad choice to use for this. All right, well, I'll just teach you the process. Um, I'll pretend this didn't work at all. This is that doesn't. So what we want to do in order to make a texture is pretty simple. The first thing you want to do is make sure that it tiles top and bottom. So we're going to take a slice off of the top here. Control C, Control V, edit, transform, flip horizontal. So now it's back. So if we were to move this up to top there, it would match up, right? And we're going to move this down here. And so now the problem is this and that match, this edge and this edge match up. This part doesn't, right? There's a little bit of a line that you can see because the textures. So what I'll do is grab a eraser tool with a soft edge brush and make sure that it's big enough. And then without touching, I'm going to follow some of the rock patterns in kind of a random way so that you can't see the line. And it's fine to go all over the place with it. I'm just erasing. I didn't have to look. Just go down here and giving it a soft edge because what I want this to do is merge. Get rid of any kind of sharp line. And then I can merge this down. And then zoom out. Yeah. And then duplicate that one. You can see that now we have like an exact match. And you get a little bit of mirroring, but it's not too bad. And then if we were to go to the bottom, right, this will match up there too. Duplicate one more time. And you can see it. It's now pretty decent. I have a hard time. Where is it? There. I thought it was actually here. That's good. Nice. And so we've got two sides of our tile, so we need to repeat that process. With this one, right? So we want to grab part of this. Control C, Control V. And this time we want to go Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal, right? And we move this side here. And now we want to go in there and do that whole thing. The only thing we don't want to do is come anywhere near this part of the, is to come near this edge. So I have to erase this from here because we've already done this edge and we've already done this edge. So I need this to match up with over here, but I don't need this and this to match up because they already do. And then I can come in here. Give it an uneven merge line with a feathered edge. So and then just merge that down. And now we could tile this infinitely and it would work. And this would work if you want to have a wallpaper texture or anything. The wallpaper texture, generally you would use a linear clue to make the tile. But with rocks and dirt and stuff, this is anything with kind of a uneven texture. That's the methodology for creating a tileable thing. So if we were to use this in a game, we could use this for the ground for the entire thing. But for our image, we can do stuff like this. I could just drop it in here, tile it a whole bunch of time, drop it in here. We have people on the face of the garbage dump, the moon or whatever. Doesn't really look like the moon. Cool. All right, so that is tiles. Let's talk a little bit about your homework. Bring that up. So I'll put something down there. That was going to be a demo anyways. Here's your homework. Using your new skills, right? The stuff that I just showed you, the texturing, the using an image as texture, the using an image as putting an image on a different object, and creating a tile. I'd like you to choose any image you like or combine multiple images into a single scene. And make sure that you display the various techniques covered in this module. We created a custom brush. We used a dirt map. That's our texture map. Just like calling it dirt. Because a texture map means different stuff. But it's technically a texture /dirt map. image application. Two. And the a tiling element like we just did with the dirt. Right. Choose any image you like or combine multiple images into a scene. Period. Or modify this. Use covered in this module. The theme is make it old. All right, so we have to make it look like it's old, rusty, dirty, worn out, whatever you would like to do. Old people. Great. All right, have fun with that one. It should be a good assignment. If any of you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'll make this video available as soon as I can. Have a great evening, and I'll be around for another little while in case anybody turns up. But that's pretty much it for the demo stuff. Cool. All right. Stop sharing. And have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.